Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Shani, Scott, and Melz on the MIC, the queen and king of some media. That is the king and queen of some media. That's what we want to say. Hey, let's start things off right. Make sure you download our app, Media Room 360, because starting March 1st, you will only be able to get this show on Media Room 360 LLC Facebook page or the app. Okay, so go ahead, follow Media Room 360 LLC on Facebook and YouTube, and make sure you download our app. All right, we are out here in this weather today, and I believe that Melz is frozen. he is frozen right now, but it's okay because we gonna go and get through this show, and when he unfreezes, we'll begin to talk to him. Good morning, Clarence McGee. How are you doing today? This is what I want to know. How are y'all pairing out in this weather? Because I know for us, our power was out last night. It was out. They're taking it down. They're bringing it back up, taking it down, bringing it back up, taking it down, bringing it back up. And, I'm like, listen, once y'all ready, were not you all prepared for this winter weather storm that we have? Why are not cities prepared? Every year it could happen. So why y'all wait till the last minute and then say, oh, we weren't prepared? Not a good look, cities. Not a good look, cities, because you know that it could happen. Fortunately, the house stayed warm. But what I do feel bad for are the people that are homeless. The ones whose homes weren't able to hold heat for them. Byron, that's good that it's 82 degrees there in Florida where you at, but people over here having some serious problems.
Don't pay him. But besides, pay him no mind. His ass just came from Topeka, Kansas, sitting in 1 degree weather, and now he won't be on here stunting like he hot shit right now. Pay him no mind. Good morning, everybody. It's the king of some media, Melz with the MIC. Shani, Scott, we here, and this is the current situation where I'm at. This is the current situation.
He live in the car.
I'm in the car because this is my situation right now. This is the situation. Look how deep this shit is. Look how deep it is, B. Look how ridiculous this is, man. This is sad. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It is. I don't even want to go outside my house.
That's just how crazy it is out here, man. It's ridiculous. But I'm sitting in the vehicle because I ain't got no power in my apartment. They're doing rolling blackouts to conserve power out here in this area. So this is what we're gonna have to deal with. We off and on with power, off and on with heat. But I'm sitting in this nice warm truck, ducked off.
You got enough gas, bro?
Yeah, I got a half a tank.
Okay. Oh Lord. I mean, well, yeah, the struggle is real because in the house they're doing that here too. And so I jumped on my laptop. So if the view looks different today, y'all, it's because I'm talking from a different computer. I'm on my laptop, because at least if the power goes out, then my laptop will switch over to the Wi-Fi and it's charged, so it's enough life there. But we got an interesting show for y'all today. We have the homicide detectives from the ATL that'll be joining us a little bit later. We're going to talk to them about their new season. I think I just messed up the name of their show. What is it called?
It's ATL Homicide. It's Detectives David Quinn and Vince Velasquez going to be joining us on the show today. These guys they got the new season of the TV One real true crime drama series, ATL Homicide. I think it's season 3 kicks off. It's already underway. We're going to talk to those guys all about what they got popping off with that show and everything. Today,
February 15th.
February
Today.
15th.
Yeah, today.
So,
Monday, 9 p.m. Central. Oh, they competing with us. Oh my God. 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central.
but that's why they had to come on the morning show. That's
I
why
know, right?
they had to come on the morning show. We didn't want to interrupt their show. We up on competition and all that other good stuff. So we're gonna be
Yes,
doing this
yes.
morning. Great, two great guys, fabulous questions we're gonna ask them this morning. So make sure you keep it locked and rock with us. You hear me? But of course, back from the weekend, it's Monday, and of course, the big news, of course, all across the country right now is the polar vortex. The great state of Texas, Louisiana, all y'all finna get this work. Matter of fact, I did talk to my dad this morning. He did call me this morning and asked about you.
Yeah, I know.
And then I had to cuss him out and tell him, don't be asking me nothing about no Shani. You and Shani keep that amongst yourself.
He was just being nice. He saw the little videos that we made for Valentine's Day.
Oh, he saw. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he saw that.
Oh. I told y'all the doors of the den was open. Shani out here with the supreme trapping of the thirst.
Yeah, if y'all want to check the videos out, you can check them out on my TikTok page at Shani Scott, or you can do that, or you can go to my Facebook page at Shani Scott, and you can see our Valentine's Day. We had so much fun for Valentine's Day. Brian talking about, yes, I saw you and your mama. Yes, that's who I get it from. My mama, baby. My mama got it going on. Baby, she was hot. My mom actually bought me that outfit for Valentine's Day. And that was because like I said, Valentine's Day is a big deal. It's a big deal. So we usually, when I made a whole bunch of money, like we used to do it up real big for Valentine's Day. Me and my mom and the girls, we go do all kinds of things. But this year we kept it home. I made a lasagna and, broccoli and bread and peas and stuff. And then she made a lemon chest pie. We make everything from scratch. So we're in the kitchen. And then our friends came over, April and Andre. Well, our family, April and Andre, Uncle Andre and Auntie April to the girls. And they had to, and child, listen, it was good because I found out my oldest daughter has a new little male admirer. Yes. And so Uncle Andre was here to, deal with that situation. But the little boy is a liar. He's a liar. And he lied to us.
What did he lie about?
Because she went outside. Now it's snowing. And she don't like the cold. This is Carly. Okay, right. This is my oldest. She ain't doing it. I said, why is she outside? She was in the backyard. And I said, what is she doing out there? And Tim's like, oh, she's on the phone. I said, who is she talking to? She said, oh, she's talking to Marcus. Who is Marcus? I said, come on in here. And then he hung up the phone because they were on like a FaceTime call. So he hangs up the phone, right? I said, call him back because he got to talk to me and your Uncle Andre before he can talk to you. And she, called him back. He wouldn't answer the phone. Then he texted her and said his mom needed him to do something. So we said, okay, we kept on going with our day. She was sitting in front of me while we were, while I was finishing off the lasagna or something. And I saw her phone ringing. And I said, who is that calling you? And she said, yeah, that's Marcus. I said, answer it. She answered it. He wouldn't turn his camera on. I said, what's wrong with your camera, son? He said, oh, I broke it. I dropped it. I said, so your phone broke that fast? Yeah. I said, so you irresponsible like that? Basically. I said, now I don't like this little boy. He don't know how to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, or nothing. And so then she took the phone over to her Uncle Andre to let him talk to him. And he was talking to him, like he was grown. And Andre was like, all right, we're going to let you make it. We let you make it. So he made it. And then we had a talk. And basically, it was a good talk that she needed.
Kids, but you got to understand, these kids don't have, the things that we used to have back in the day. That fear of having to call the house to talk to a young lady, and you got and one of your parents answer the damn phone, one of your mamas or your daddies answer the phone, and then you got to sit there and have a conversation with mom and daddy for about 10-15 minutes
Uh-huh.
about. Now they got the option of saying, nah.
Yeah, he got to talk to Uncle Action too. But that's the way I'm raising him, and it was refreshing to have a man talk to her like
Mhm.
that.
Right.
Because I mean, he broke some stuff down and explained to her, listen, I'm not saying he a bad little boy or that shouldn't be your friend. He said, yeah, I want you to stop saying dating and boyfriend though and just be friend. Because I mean, he pulled so much stuff out of her that I never even got out of her. Like, come to find out, she's talking about she want to be loyal to the little boy, and she done gave the little boy her password to her Instagram. I said, wait, hold up.
That's serious. That's
Why?
serious. In
And she,
today's terminology, that's serious action right there. They technically married at this point.
yeah, but we don't approve of him. We do not. I told her, I said, baby, that ain't the one. I said, honey, you are, hey, Rodney. I said, baby, you are the student of the month at your school. You make good grades. Your teachers always talk about you. You're a beautiful girl. I said, you're going to always attract people. You can choose who you want. Now, this joker right here, based on how he responding, and he has a sister, he has an older sister. So what I'm saying to him is not foreign. What your Uncle Andre said to him was not foreign. He understands this, I think. I said, no, he ain't the one. But go on, have fun right now. Talk to him till the next one come along.
Yeah, I mean, as long as as long as they're getting impressed upon that this ain't, because this is something you got to convince young people of early, is that this ain't the one. All right, it feels
Right.
like because young love feels so good. Young
Yes.
love feels so it feels so amazing and so good when you feel that love, and then you think that this is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You're 10, champ. You still got you're 10. All right. You're 12, you're 13, you're 14. You still got a whole lot more jokers and a whole lot more people that's gonna F you up and throw your heart in the trash and do this other stuff. So you gotta so but I also gotta say this to these parents out here, man, raise these sons up right, man. Make sure they know how
Yeah.
to, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them fall into this trap of becoming one of these social media, cell phone, smartphone kids and all this other stuff that feel like they ain't gotta go through the protocol of talking to the parents and stuff like that, because they really don't. They really don't. We put these cell
Yeah.
phones in these kids' hands, and they feel like we ain't got to go through the chivalry situation of getting to know the parents and all the other stuff, and the basic decency that comes with dating early on. But this ain't no real date. They just friends right
They
now.
just friends. Hey, Monica. But yeah, but because I'm the mama, I'm that mama of the girls, I take their phone and I'll be like, who is this? Why are you talking to my daughter? What are your intentions? I need to know. But the thing that stood out the most with me about this young man is when she said he asked for her password. And I talked to her later on, just she and I was like, that's control. Well, Andre told her that too. That's control. And
Yeah,
I said, and,
you got
and you
married.
don't want to
You got
be,
married people. I'm about to say you got married people who don't know your damn password. We don't share passwords.
yeah. I said, baby, that's if he asking for that and he going through, and she said that he went through her stuff and saw that some other little boys was trying to talk to her and he done jumped on them already. I said,
What
now
kind of
it's something wrong.
what kind of future domestic abuser she got in her life? Yeah, get this joke
Thank
out of
you.
here. Get this joke
Yeah, I'm
out of here.
like, no, he
I'm
shouldn't have
hollering,
did that. He shouldn't have
I'm
did that.
hollering at Uncle Melz. Uncle Melz will tell him in a heartbeat, if you don't care your domestic, look, you got domestic abuser written all over you. Future domestic abuser.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had to point some stuff out to her. And I'm like, look, baby, I want you to be better than mommy. Don't you want to be better than mommy?
That's the whole goal. Be better than mom. Be
Be
better
better
than
than
mom.
mommy. Don't make these mistakes.
Even Action Jackson said, I don't even know my wife's password. Look, I'm married 20 years and I don't know my wife's password. What the heck? You get passwords now? You can ask them for passwords now? Hell, my wife got a
Yeah,
password. Shit.
I
Uh,
agree with Rodney. It is too many hip hop parents out here, and that's not cool. That's not cool. And the thing about it, so last week I had to take her to school on Tuesday and Wednesday so she could do her testing. So she's only seen this little boy on Zoom until Tuesday. Right. Tuesday they saw each other in person.
No, I gotta say this. It's not just hip hop parents per se, but I would say this: we got a generation of young people who say, "I ain't gonna do mom." You remember when you got your ass whooped and your mom and used to beat your ass back in the day? You say, "I ain't gonna never do my kids like that." And these motherfuckers is living it, and they living it. That's what's crazy about it. They actually believe in it and living it and are doing that, which is cool. You know, you're not supposed to pass down certain negative. You know, we're not trying to pass down negative traits,
right? Absolutely.
That we grew up with downside kids. But I already know 80% of these folks is like, I ain't never gonna do my kids like that. After you got that ass whooping and you start stuttering and shit, I ain't gonna never do my kids like how she did me. And now your ass 30 stalking and still talking that same shit. I ain't gonna do them like I did my. No, you know, in certain situations, you have to do your kids the way your parents did you.
And this is
That's
true.
the only way to learn. You learn.
This is true.
You learn. You survive. You learn, you survived, you're still here, you're a decent human being. So, you know, that's something we got to pick up. Right, say, by the way, you have the right to have anybody's password to anything. Relationships are built on trust. But again, we got to remind ourselves, these are just kids. Right?
No, but that's bad that they kids like this.
But they're
because
kids,
like, I don't whoop my kids. I stopped spank. I used to when they were little bitty babies, I'd spank them. But when they got about 3 and 4, I said, you know what? That's not what I want to do. Now, I will handle them like I'm Joe Jackson, and they know it. I don't have to spank them because they know, oh, our mama crazy. We don't want her to go there with us. And I tell my girls, listen, you could be 40 or you could be 11 and 12. Which one you want to be? Because I'm gonna treat you accordingly. And it's a couple times that baby. You know, that baby thinks she 50 sometimes. So we have to kind of go there with her. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you're checking in to Shani, Sky, and Melz on the MIC in the morning, the king and queen of some media. And we're so happy that you guys are here with us today. Don't forget to make sure you download our app. Melz has got some stuff going on. And download the app, Media Room 360, on your iOS platform or in the Google Play Store, and make sure you follow us on Facebook at Media Room 360 LLC, because beginning March 1st, the only places that you will be able to get the show is Media Room 360 LLC on Facebook or on our app. Now, today we have we know some of y'all not right. We know, so we had to get the popo involved in this. Melz is already familiar with them, but we had to reach out so we can get some questions answered about some of y'all. Okay, we have the detectives on today, the retired homicide detectives who have now started their own show on TV One. So they did what, a major upgrade? Is that what we would call that?
Well, we would call that an upgrade, and you remember him well from the first 48 on the A&E series, whenever they did the series, the episodes in Atlanta, and now these brothers have their own show on TV One. The new season of ATL Homicide premieres tonight.
Tonight.
On TV One, so go ahead and clap it up and let's get you ready. Let's bring them on in here, ladies and gentlemen. These are the ATL Homicide detectives, Paul Quinn and Vince Velasquez. And
we only have Quinn.
Okay.
Velasquez went on vacation. He's on vacation. Yeah,
he's always on vacation. Last time I interviewed him, Vince was out having lunch and came on to the call late and all this other stuff. But it's still all good, man. Good morning, David Quinn, brother. How are you?
What's happening? I love the energy. That's what's up. Everybody wake up, put your shoes on. Let's
put your shoes on, put your wigs on, put your bras on. Let's get it popping.
Well, plus we're under 3 feet or 6 feet of snow, so that wake you up.
7 degrees here. It's 7 degrees here.
I can't hang.
So
it's coming.
Well, you already met Melz before. This is your first time meeting me. So welcome to the show. Welcome. This is what I want.
I was listening backstage and I love it already. I'm in.
This is what I want to know.
Okay.
When you were on First 48, and if you can't answer this question, answer it. If not, we know how to keep it moving. How much of that was scripted and how much of it just really happened? Just like, oh my God, this is happening in front of the camera.
First of all, first 48 was follow me while my ass was at work. I was at work and they were just filming me for free. So everything I said was real. Whatever went on the edit, I don't know. We don't talk about them too much, but ain't got nothing wrong with them. But they were following a brother at work. I was really against it. I didn't like it, but the folks upstairs had a little deal going with them. So I was just doing the people's work, serving my families, black and brown.
Oh, okay. I see. I've always wondered about that because I know that would get on my nerves if I'm out here trying to talk to a suspect and this camera is over here. It's like, listen, you messing up my job, and this person might not talk to me, and I can't close this case out because this camera is here.
Nah, I'm an unfiltered brother, so I'm always gonna bring it no matter what's going on. Nobody ever got in my way. That's why with TV One, when they came along, we were like, yes, we made it home. They embraced the brother and my partner, the pretty Puerto Rican, and they had us out there just being ourselves. They literally said, we want you to be who we've seen on the sizzle reels that were going out when the show was getting, trying to get picked up out there. We got turned down by everybody. And then TV One saw me and the Puerto Rican doing what we do. They said we want it.
No doubt, and that's what's great about HL Homicide is it's the way y'all switched up. Now you ain't got to have a camera follow you all around. y'all can just tell the stories and let them part it out the way you want. Explain to folks who haven't seen it yet, ATL Homicide and what the show is all about.
Wow, ATL Homicide is what I call a labor of love. This is a show that looks like a movie every Monday night at 9/8 Central, chronicling the travels of Detective David Quinn and Detective Vince Velasquez. I mean, literally, we are telling our own story as it unfolds on screen with two really talented young brothers. We call them the Diaz brothers, Christopher Diaz and Angelo Diaz. They play us in our early 30s out there grinding. I mean, TV One brings this thing so realistic. Sometimes I'm dropping my popcorn because I forgot what happened. But these are our stories being depicted on screen, talking about how we got down. We got down with the people, using the people in the street to bring these cases to closure.
No doubt. One question I did have to ask though, how often and how hard it is to get a suspect to confess. And maybe you can answer this. Maybe you can answer this better than I can. Like when I would see a lot of the old episodes of the old shows, all it would take was a cigarette sometime, and these jokers would tell it all. I'm just wondering, did that happen? How often did that happen? Where all you had to do was bring them a Cool or a Marlboro or something like that, and these jokers would tell it all.
So I kept a carton of Newports in my desk for 19 years. There was some comfort involved in that, but what I found out, people want to tell. This is the thing that's been hidden from law enforcement. You have to go to bed every night. 95% of our murders, I'm probably going to say 98% of our murders we investigate over the years are spur of the moment. A lot of people are carrying those ghosts. So they want to make sure they tell it to somebody they trust. And once you cross the threshold of trust and you've got that person, you make them feel comfortable, they tell you what's up, be it witness or the accused. We had an amazing track record of bringing it in. Now, when it's time to go to court, everybody talking about, well, that wasn't me. I didn't say that. You got to play the video. So we had no problem always playing the videos, but it was all about respect. I don't know. We never took a class. Our class was working in the streets all those years, and it translated when they gave us neckties and badges and made us detectives.
Have you ever had fear in the, when you have to go and investigate a homicide? Have you ever been fearful?
I mean, you're always going to be fearful, but it's measured because you knock on hundreds of doors a year. Sometimes I'm going to think I'm going to go talk to the girlfriend, and the joker I'm looking for murders in the back bedroom sleep with a pistol. I mean, these things have happened. So To say you don't have fear, your fear is measured and it's understood. This is what you do, and you just have to go out and do it. I always kept myself aware. That was my fear factor, just being aware, head on a swivel. But I never wanted to portray myself as being afraid or scared to my people, because what people in the general public doesn't understand, people in these quote unquote marginalized neighborhoods don't want that violent crime in the neighborhood. I didn't make all my cases with DNA and phone records. Sometimes it was folks trying to go to work, needed the peace in the neighborhood, or a drug dealer that wanted all of the market share on a certain corner, and somebody just blew up the spot. You know what I mean? So it went both ways.
Oh wow.
I want you to talk about that more, about black and brown communities and their mistrust of the police, because that's something, like I said, Detective Velasquez have been in these communities. You've actually worked with the people, talked to the people, and I know that's a fear. And a lot of people watch these shows and they say, oh, they working for the man and all this other stuff and all this other stuff. I would love for you to talk more about that fear. Is that something that you guys deal with a lot when you was working these cases, as far as being black and brown and trying to get black and brown communities to cooperate with police officers, especially when it comes to them, someone that's close to them that has been murdered and killed? How hard was that to get that trust and earn that trust?
Trust with black and brown people is all about your body language. We didn't travel in packs. We never wore anything but a suit, no tactical gear. The utmost respect. If I got to go out at 3:00 in the morning and I work 9 to 5 just to limit the exposure of a potential witness, I'm knocking on that door. I don't want to put them on blast in their own neighborhood. I want to protect them. Now, there comes a time when you go to court that, people have to get up in the witness stand and say what they told me and talk about that photo they picked out the lineup in some cases. Once we planted our footprint and planted our flag in the city of Atlanta, the level of trust was we riding with Quinn and Velasquez. So I'm protected. We never lost a victim, never got anybody shot up, didn't get any houses shot up. It's all about maintaining the integrity of your witness. You don't have to expose them the first year. It takes a year for the average homicide to go to trial. By the time you go to trial, people get up there and do what they have to do, but they got to feel safe and secure. I've seen cops go out to interview old ladies and take uniform cops with them, tanks, grappling hooks, all kind of crazy stuff, just to knock on the door. Me and Vinny out there, we walked with Jesus Christ as we knocked on those doors out there. And, we let the chips fall where they may. It's all about the families of the people left behind and the people left behind. And we work for them, not for our government.
Okay, well, we got a question coming in from the gallery. Paul Bullard, aka Action Jackson. He's on one of our shows that comes on at 8:00, Big Bing's Break Room. He says, how can black and brown communities trust police when some police were at the Capitol riots?
You know what? That was disgusting. That is an amazing question, because we're living history right now. And so we're living history, so we got to speak the truth. There's two different law enforcements out there. It's one for the black and brown, and it's one for the other folk. I mean, white folks get to walk in peace while we walk in peril. And as police officers, I mean, I'm retired, but I'm a cop through and through to the end. It's two different ways it's two different ways that the public gets dealt with, and we've been getting the raw end of that deal. I love that these cops have been exposed, because we've all had our suspicions. You've got to hold your department where you pay taxes. You got to hold their feet to the fire, and you got to make them represent. They have to win you over one street and one neighborhood at a time. You got to demand service. You have to demand good police service. And I'm going to tell you, just to give you a personal angle, in October of 2020, we headed towards the end of the year. My own son that came home from the military got shot up in an armed robbery, as a victim in a metropolitan Atlanta police jurisdiction. Not mine, but I got horrible service. And I had to go through hell and high water to get the kind of service I needed. When I got to the scene where my son was shot 3 times in an armed robbery, they treated me like, some joker off the street. I mean, they didn't give me the respect. The people on the scene thought it was ATL homicide coming to the scene. And I'm coming for my son who's been shot. I got horrific police service. And everybody in the world knows I'm the police, especially in Atlanta. So I'm in the process of ringing that bell right now to make sure it doesn't happen to another family like I got treated. I got horrible service. And that's just across the board. They suspect our loved ones are always involved in something. Why are they down here? That ain't got a damn thing to do with anything. It's a free country. And let's recognize it, and let's make history while history unfolds in front of us.
How's your son now?
He's recuperating. I mean, he took 3 serious wounds. He was in a wheelchair for a while. He's now working with a cane. But that's America, the America we live in, and nobody really gives a damn. So we have to give a damn, and we have to understand we have a pandemic in our communities that's not getting addressed, and it's called gun violence. Thousands of brothers and sisters, black and brown, get shot every year and survive, and those bells don't get rung. So I want to be more of an advocate for that now, because I've seen the other side of the coin. Me and Vin, we always hugged and cleaved unto our mothers and fathers of these murdered sons and daughters, and now it's my turn. I didn't get that. So again, 2 Americas.
So let me ask you this: when you say that we need to hold our police departments, we need to hold them accountable. How do we do that?
That's your precinct in the neighborhood in which you live, where your zip code is. You need to be there before something bad happens. Finding out what are the plans of action when nobody's getting killed. You want to be proactive and not reactive. We have enough neighborhood coalitions, neighborhood planning units. Let's gear those and steer those at peacetime, and let's not wait for things to fall to the wayside, because they don't care about us. We have to I don't care if it's a black police administration. We're not first if it's up against a white. We got a neighborhood here called Buckhead. And I'm sure you've heard of it. That was like headquarters for Freaknik back in the day. And they've had crime uptick in their community. And people are starting to figure out what they need to do to make it better, when in fact, in the quote unquote marginalized neighborhoods I worked in for 33 years, there was no action given to the constant crime, the constant gun violence. It was all reactive, nothing proactive. The folks with cash, they're making it happen, but we have to plant ourselves in those precincts. We paid for the paint on the wall and the floors and everything else and all the doors, and we're paying the salaries of the cops that work there. We have to demand customer service.
No doubt. Once again, if you're checking in with us, y'all can hear me, right? Y'all good? Y'all can hear me, right?
We can hear you.
Okay. Cool, sweet. You're checking in with Shani and Melz in the morning, the king and queen of some media, with Detective David Quinn of ATL Homicide, the new season tonight, TV1. You need to watch that. And plus, he's sharing with us some amazing information on how we can do better with our communities as far as the police efforts. Because again, we watch a lot of these shows, and it pumps a lot of fear in a lot of people. A lot of fear, and a lot of folks don't know how to go and how to operate and how to do this. But I love that you say we have to be proactive. We just coming off an election cycle, and everybody's already forgetting everything that we done fought for. Everybody, we got the guy we wanted in office. We done elected this person. We done elected the black sheriff here and there. They're forgetting about what we need to do to be proactive in these communities, and that's very important. I'm glad you brought that up. But another thing I definitely want to talk about is on the show. Give me an example of what was one of the toughest cases that y'all ever had to deal with that you're going to be looking into this season. Give me a little preview of one of the cases that maybe was just gave you all the trouble in the world to solve.
Oh, wow. They're all a lot of trouble. I mean, all the cases change you forever every time you get one, because you're meeting a new family that now you're the empty seat at the table at Christmas and the holidays. They all mean so much. But this season, you're going to see in the beginning of, like tonight, for instance, it's when me and Vin in 2001 were in our mid-30s, getting like our second year of homicide, our second, rotation around the sun in the unit. and you'll see historic footage from back when we were first getting started through VHS and so forth. And even then, we're going to use a dope boy in tonight's episode on TV1 at 9/8 Central to go ahead and clean up his own trap and go to work and get deputized for us because of the relationship I had forged with this young brother when he was 15. Now he's the big time dope boy. We put him to work because it's all about money to him, and me, it's all about results with me and my partner working these cases. Towards the end of the season, you're going to see the murder of an innocent sister that came over from the Bahamas, a very complicated murder. She came over to the Bahamas to start a new life, and she was gunned down in what we believed at the time was a mistaken identity shooting. I mean, you just see the pain and the agony from someone coming to our country, coming to the States, trying to make their life, being successful, and being cut down. And she didn't have anything to do with anything, and leaving her child orphaned behind. So it's a gamut of emotions that I don't wish on a lot of people. This is service. You have to love people to be effective as a homicide detective. And I want cops, black and white, to watch, because these are weekly training films. Because all this is 100% of what we did. This ain't made up. And our witnesses that this is real, those are the folks in the street. They'll let you know. Because, those are the ones that I have the utmost respect for. The prostitutes, the brothers that were slinging, the sisters that were getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get their sisters off, get their children off, and making it to those jobs. Those are the people we served, and we loved every day of it.
So let me ask you this. You said that most of the shows are from when you guys were in your mid-30s. Okay, when you were in your mid-30s, second year being a detective, did you ever imagine that you would be a TV star and a detective?
Oh, wow. Not at all. But I'm going to tell you what was one of the precursors to that. Velasquez, he had some ties to the media when he first came to the unit. I'm just an old school street cop. I did 15 years in uniform on them streets and in the projects. I was up in the PJs. He was actually out into the world. He'd been to the Air Force. He worked for a major U.S. airline. And he said, man, let's start putting all of our cases on the TV news. Like, we get them, let's just put them out there. That became our mantra. We didn't even get permission. We had just started going out live from ground zero, calling news cameras, news crews out, and we started filming. It seemed like every other week we were on TV locally, broadcasting all the facts, hoping that somebody calls in, because we didn't even have a reward back in those days. We didn't have Crime Stoppers in Atlanta. And so it just started, and we were normally on TV on all 3 media outlets on a regular basis. Didn't know that one day we'd be sitting up there, having our own TV show. It blew us away, and it came right as we retired.
It's a nice retirement.
For real. I wanted to ask you also before we let you go about something that you said earlier about caring, about being active in the community and caring. Do you see a lack of that in police departments across the country, especially when it comes to the murders of people in Black and brown communities? Do you see more of I'm just trying to get this case solved and I don't care what happens otherwise, or do you see less of that? I mean, I think this is I think this is why you guys have the show that you have right now, and because a lot of people want to look back on how you guys did this work. Do you see that as a problem in America as far as police, the way they're being trained up in this country?
I see it as a big problem. I worked 30 straight years for the police department. The last 3 years, I worked under contract to help mentor. I was double dipping. They gave me a separate check to actually stay on board and help the younger detectives hone their craft, and build some street skills. What I was seeing, the biggest problem from when I came on in 1985, police departments across the board have become more militaristic, more paramilitary. The uniforms reflect that somebody's checking into work to go to war. When I checked into work at age 21 years old, when I hit the streets, I had a 6-shooter and an attitude about, surviving the night. I worked in the dark, and we had to have our verbal judo skills up. These cops get out the daggone car now, look like stormtroopers. I mean, it's crazy all the amount of equipment they have. That's fear. Fear of black and brown people.
Yeah.
And
they have more.
and
I served it. Look, I served in Iraq, Detective Quinn. I think I told you this. I served in Iraq, and these cops out here have more gear just to patrol the streets than we was in an actual war zone.
It's unbelievable. In my day, like my little brother's a SWAT team officer in a South Side jurisdiction or South Dutch jurisdiction here in Atlanta. That's the only people we knew were the SWAT team. Now, everybody looks like the SWAT team. And what that does is that scares the little children when you go out into the street in those neighborhoods looking so militaristic. So I've seen a pushback from the police across the board, including young detectives, where they're afraid of their constituency. You're serving these people, and you have to go out there with the grace of God or whoever you believe in to protect you. You don't need all that. I don't think I ever showed a gun the 19 years I was in homicide. I maintained the integrity of my weapon because I never knew whose house I was going to, what living room I was going to have to, drop the worst news on a family they'd ever hear for the rest of their lives. I want to look like a preacher, less like a politician, and more like somebody that cared than some, gun-toting police. So I think we got to go backwards, take a page out of the book, the cops from my era. It was all about talking. And at the most, you would use your dukes. I mean, we used Mutt and Jeff more than anything else out there. It was like Scrap Town. You fought. People went to the hospital sometimes. Sometimes I went. You had torn clothes. But you're not going to tell me that these ray guns they got out here, which I never accepted. I hate that stun gun because that's an excuse to kill somebody to me. If it doesn't work, I get to kill you now. I hate that thing. And I never accepted being issued one, got in a lot of trouble. I didn't like it. That I'm going to shock my brothers and sisters into submission. You got to use some psychology. You got to use some grace when you're trying to get somebody in the backseat of the car. And I felt like me and Ben, we just had the knack for it. And I left a little early because things just changed so much. And then to see it culminate with January 6, 2021, that's it. That's why. That was the powder keg that was blown loose because we've lost a connection with the people we serve. It's disturbing.
Action has another question, but I have a question. So with that, you talked about psychology. Do they still require that officers have to take psychology courses? Do you have to have a degree to be a police officer?
Well, not here in the South. I was literally there 2 years after high school, so I was 20 years old. The police department, it's all built around reactionary policy. Psychologically speaking, most cops are jacked up. This is a somewhat weaker generation, and that's not an insult. It's just different. I mean, I grew up in the 70s. I graduated from high school in the 80s. It was a different America. I don't think that we're sensitive to the way we need to be with these young children we're giving pistols to. They're going to need way more intervention psychologically than we ever needed, because we're talking about a whole generation of kids in the last 20 years ain't never been punched in the nose because it was against the law at school. So you're going to put them out in the street and they ain't even never had their nose bloody, after recess like we did. So we have to treat them differently, and we got to change policy. You got to stay. I think cops every 90-day cycle should get some kind of psychological evaluation, not just when they kill somebody. You know what I mean? And that's the only time they get any real intervention. So that needs to change. We have to comfort this new generation if we want those kind of results.
No doubt, because again, that's one of the main problems with a lot of trust in the communities, Black and brown communities especially, is the fact that not only are they feeling militaristic, but you also have this issue of police officers being overly aggressive, and they also not having the time. And plus, the only thing I keep hearing from a lot of police officers is, "I'm just trying to get home. I'm just trying to get home." Well, we just trying to get home too. we all in the same boat.
That's the most profound thing I've heard in the last 2 weeks. It goes both ways. And you can't, I mean,
right.
I don't want a cop. In my day, you didn't shoot somebody because of what you were in fear of. You're going to shoot me
right
because of what I might have. I mean, you get clowned in the locker room in the police precincts in the 80s for that. You know, we got in shootouts, not shoot-ons. You know what I mean? And things have changed. And they justify a lot of these deadly shootings because of what a cop's fear is. If you that damn afraid, find another gig. You know, we got bread needs to be delivered. You know, we got, kids need to be taught in school. This might not be, the type of career you need to choose.
I agree 100% with you. I don't know. I think we're breaking up. We're having some sound issues real quick as the show starts to wrap up. But most definitely, man, Detective David Quinn, I'm sorry. I don't know where Shani went. Shani disappeared. We done lost Shani. Shani, all right? You gone? She gone? You coming back? I don't know. I don't know where she went. She disappeared on us. But once again, ATL Homicide premieres tonight on TV1. Please make sure you go check out the show. And also go follow Detective Quinn and Velasquez on the social media. Real quick, if folks want to follow you and maybe ask you some more questions and get some more comments from you, where can they follow you at, Detective Quinn?
You can find me on Facebook as David Quinn. On Instagram is @DavidQuinn56. And on Twitter, where we tweet live during the airing of the show. And this is our fourth installment from the new season. You can live tweet with us at DavidQuinn19. You can follow Vince Velasquez on all platforms as Vince Velasquez.
No doubt, no doubt. And once again, ATL Homicide, the new season coming up tonight. Make sure you check it out on TV1. And real quick before you go, Quinn, how you enjoying retirement so far? How you enjoying it? Because last time I talked to you, Vince was like, he still won't go. I think Quinn still won't get out there and go.
Man, I'm out here walking the earth, my brother, trying to stay healthy. And I'm writing a book. So that's keeping me busy. I'm in my office right now because I pound out every day. I'm trying to put something out there, some good stories, some true to life stuff that happened in my career.
No doubt, man. Looking forward to it, man. You got the title for the book yet?
Oh yeah. Well, I got a working title, but I'm not ready to let it out yet because it's kind of comical to some people. But I'm gonna probably be ready in 2022 with that project, and I'd love to come on your show and talk about it once we get done.
Man, we love to have you, man. It's a pleasure having you back on again, man. And once again, hey, look, you done switched over now. You're creative now, like with us, so you're sensitive about your art now.
No doubt.
You're over here with us now. You're creative now. You're civilian creative now. Like, I'm sensitive about my artwork. I don't want to tell y'all nothing. No, but thank you so much, Detective Quinn. I appreciate it, man. You be safe out there. And I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with Shani. I don't know where she disappeared.
Right.
I done lost. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. And tell Shani I said goodbye.
No doubt. Will do, brother. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for stopping through. Detective David Quinn, Paul Velasquez, go check them out. ATL Homicide, the new season on TV1. You can just pop out of there whenever you're ready, my brother, and we'll catch up with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But once again, Shani and Melz in the morning. Melz on the MIC out here in the brick. I don't know where Shani went at, but I hope y'all doing all right out there, and I hope y'all staying warm out there. Don't forget, go check out ATL Homicide, the new season tonight on TV1 when you get a chance. And yes, I'm still out here though. I'm still sitting in my truck. I had to stop the show a couple of times and all this other stuff because I am freaking because it got too hot in here. I got this. I'm sitting in my truck, but as you can see, we out here in this brick. Made it through Valentine's weekend as we get back into the swing of things, kicking off another work week. Hope you folks made it through the Valentine's weekend. Hope y'all doing all right out there. I can't see no comments, so I don't know what's going on with the comments. Let me see y'all comments. Here we go. I got some of y'all comments. Sherry, I see some of y'all comments. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Hey, Stephanie, thank you for joining us on the show. I can't get tell comments to pop up there though because I'm a mobile. But I'm gonna go ahead and check up out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget, starting March 1st on the Media Room 360 app. This is the only place you're going to be able to see the show live. Also on the Media Room 360 Facebook page. Also on the Media Room 360 YouTube. Also on the Media Room 360 Twitch. Beginning March 1st. These are the only places you're going to be able to watch these shows live. So if I was you, if you want to stay up to date on all the greatness that we're doing every day, make sure you swing on over to the Media Room 360 LLC Facebook page. Go like the page and also hit that notification bar, that little bell on it, and like the notification so you can stay up to date on everything we got popping off. Plus, don't forget, if you have the Media Room 360 app, we are streaming our best content around the clock. Shani and Melz in the morning, Big Frank's Bake Room, Recipe for Conversation with Antoinette, Monkey Killer with the Talking Black podcast. We are streaming our content around the clock live inside the Media Room 360 app. Ah, that's why Shani's power went out. That's what happened. Okay, I just got a text from Shani. Shani's power just went out, just like here, just like it's rolling blackouts everywhere in the state of Texas. So it's all good. We're going to be making it happen, though. But we appreciate y'all for checking in. Please stay warm. Please take care of your folks. And make sure you go check out ATL Homicide, the new episode tonight on TV One. All right. And if you got some more questions for David Quinn and Paul Velasquez, hit them up on the social medias to stay up to date. They'll be live tweeting tonight and all throughout the night without all that good stuff. All right. But once again, fellas, I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Ladies, I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Hope y'all had a great one. I hope you got some gifts, fellas. I hope you got laid. I hope you got laid. I hope you got everything that you want. Oh, every woman. Hope all the women got everything that she wants. I cannot up your comments right here, but I do see you, Sherelle. Hey, Sherelle, how you doing? Shout out to Jackie. Shout out to Rodney Chisholm. Appreciate you, Actor Jackson, for the check-in. We appreciate y'all. I can't get y'all comments up there, though, because I'm on mobile and I'm sitting in my truck and I'm trying to stay warm. But y'all stay warm as well. We'll see you guys back in tomorrow morning on the King and Queen of Some Media. We're going to do an abbreviated show. Let me call and check on Shani and make sure she's good. But you guys stay safe out there. Stay warm. And if you ain't got to go, don't go out there. All right? Stay unapologetically black. And we're going to keep doing this unapologetically for the love of you. ATL Homicide tonight. Detective Paul Quinn, Velasquez. Go check out the show. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow on the King and Queen of Some Media. Shani Scott, Melz on the MIC. And I'll hear you this afternoon on the all new 107.3 Kiss FM. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll let you boy. Peace.